Now it started. Okay.
I know.
Take two.
Yes.
Those of you that don't know, this was our second time because I got distracted by those little things that pop up all the time when somebody is texting. So anyway, this is our fifth video?
I think it's the 6th.
Fifth or sixth, who knows? So the last one we did, if any of you watched it, I believe it's pretty accurate to say that Miss Amelia kind of ran the whole thing. And I
was in a flow of downloads.
She was in a flow of downloads? So okay. So anyway, the suggestion was that I kind of be the one to be out front, which those of you that know me, and I'm fine with that. I don't have an issue. It's been about, it was probably almost 2 weeks ago that we did the last video. Am I right? Yeah. Because I had gone way up.
This is Thursday.
This is yes, today is Thursday. I had gone way up north to International Falls, Minnesota, and down to Georgia, and so I came back home. And so I kind of binged on Jordan Peterson while I was gone, which is not a bad thing. Because one of the things that I really want to clarify, and this was one of the things that Jordan he talks about aim a lot, or at least in what I kept listening to. And the question is, what is our aim? What is our goal around bringing these videos to light and sharing them with whomever feels the desire to watch them? And so the bottom line is, I did a lot of thinking about that, and really, for me, I just want to be helpful to somebody, to couples that are maybe experiencing communication issues, or who knows, maybe there's somebody out there that's getting ready to get a divorce and just need a little bit of direction, or what's the word I'm looking for? Permission? No, that's not the word I'm looking for. Just maybe another vantage point in which to look at the issues that you're dealing with. A different perspective. That works. And so while Amelia and I are not necessarily experts, we are pretty good at communication. And communication, I think, is the base in anything that you do in this life, but most certainly in being a couple. What we're focusing on for the next year, those of you that may or may not know, is we're working on individuation. So I'm working on Roger. Amelia is working on Amelia. And so the goal is the aim is that we become better. I don't know if that's the right word, but we become more enlightened. You want to help me with a word? More
individualized,
more self-loving. That's, for me, that's one of the things that Amelia taught me a long time ago, and those of you that have worked with her may know. She talks about doing the I love you exercise in the mirror, and for me that's huge. The self-care that I'm developing for me, she's developing. Well, she's already developed. She's a pretty developed gal. I still have
work to do.
She's not perfect, but she still has work to do. But she's really good at self-care, and so that's our goal. Is our aim is to become better individuals, so that we then can come together as a couple and live the next
56
30 or
years.
40 years,
I
however
would
long.
like 56 more years.
She wants 56 more years. I'm not sure my old bones can handle that. I've been moving furniture for 40 years, but at any rate, we'll go with 56 years. And we want to be together and happy and fully functioning
Yes.
as a couple. And so the idea of how you get from where we are right now to a fully functioning couple is I mean we've been reading through the book, The 7 Secrets
To
I had to-
healthy, happy relationships.
the 7 and so that book is more than anything it's like a mind prick. It just it makes you think about certain things. The chapter that we're on that we're reading right now talks about how to
Healing, the journey of healing.
Yeah, well, they talk about the parallel.
And the opposite, yeah.
Parallel and opposite.
relation.
What was the word that they used?
What is the word they used?
There's a specific word.
Behaviors.
Yeah, parallel and opposite behaviors. And so what they go over in that regard is like, for example, myself, I grew up in a house where my parents got divorced when I was 6 years old. So for me, developing what I've developed is the quote opposite behavior. I can't see how in the hell I'm ever going to have a divorce. Now I have 5 children that have now reached adulthood, so a divorce is probably not nearly as detrimental, cataclysmic, heartbreaking. There's a lot of words you can use, but divorce is a really, let me assure you, and this is something that Amelia and I had a conversation earlier today. I mean, so part of my aim would be to help little kids not have to deal with that as a little kid. So if you're in a situation where you're thinking about having a divorce, just fucking learn to communicate first and see if you can make it work. Excuse my French, I used a bad word. But it's
Pretty sure everybody's heard that word before.
That for me is an aim that if I could help one kid not have to deal with what divorce does to a child. And I think it's sad that what we do in this, and I'm having a leaking issue, but I think it's sad that this society is starting to act like divorce is no big deal, because let me assure you it is to the children. I mean, I'm sure it is to the adults as well. However, I dealt with it as a child, and it was very difficult. And so when I talk about the aim, if we could just help one family not have to go through that, that would be a blessing. So that's kind of where my thinking is at the moment. I'm going to let you talk some too.
Well, my biggest focus this last couple of weeks, and really the last 4 or 5 days, has been the whole controlling thing, and why I have this overwhelming urge to control him. And I had a North Node, South Node, that's astrology, those are astrology terms, reading done with my daughter who does those readings. And she went over my North Node and my South Node, and my North Node is got some stuff in there about being dependent on him, and it made me think, okay, if I'm dependent on him, then he really needs to have his shit together, and in order for him to have his shit together, when I have the other narrative come in that says all men are sneaky and you can't trust them, and when you have that one playing over the other one, and it's like, okay, so how do I keep him on the straight and narrow? How do I keep him, behaving correctly? And and I had to laugh with Katerina because part of my thing is, he's got to be a man that is going to go to work. He can't be a couch potato lazy person. Um, which in reality I've never had to worry about because he's always taking care of us, me and the kids. And so there's stories that get spun in our heads because of the trauma that then has a different narrative that's not in reality. So when I have my trauma glasses on, quite a few of you liked my demonstration of my trauma glasses. But when I have those glasses on, I don't get to see him for who he really is. And that was part of the whole, having to be in control of him to make sure that he's taking care of us, that he's making the money, that he's, not out doing things. And the control has been exhausting. And I think I did mention that in the other video, but it's really come full, like more, like I've realized it more in the last couple of weeks, that trying to keep a lid on everything and keep everything in a nice box and wrapped nicely. And I'm done doing that. And now it seems to be coming out. And I think I talked about this in the last video, but it's happening even more, that the universe is stepping in and saying, yeah, no, not these people. Go over here. And I don't know that I need a clan. That came out in the reading as well, that I'm moving. The south node basically is where you've been. The north node is where you're going. And it very definitively said that I have my clan, and my clan is my family, the 7 people. And then I'm moving into a place where I don't need, and I thought that was very interesting given the last video when I was having those downloads happen automatically. It was like, okay, maybe I don't need a clan. He's in my clan. He's part of my family. So that's a done deal. So I don't need to, and he had said earlier, over process. And it feels like the whole world is over processing stuff, and that we're over analyzing stuff. And now we're afraid to address somebody of the opposite sex, or maybe they're not the opposite sex. And it really is a lot of confusion, and we don't want to do it wrong. Like, we don't want to offend anyone, but it's like, okay, so if we have all of these rules now about gender, how do you keep everything straight? And that's causing anxiety and stress. And I tend to overanalyze stuff. But this stuff that we're going through, I think it's really good to just, we're making it a point because it's our aim for this month to really look at stuff and pick it apart. And I was telling him earlier that there's this layer, and then I settle into that and I feel that, and then there's another layer to peel back, and then there's another layer to peel back. And I have to remember in this process that I need to take breaks, and just take a break.
And individuate.
Yeah, and individuate. And let him be him. I told Katerina, too, earlier today that I'm kind of excited to see who he blossoms into, because I really do feel like I've squelched that in my fear of needing to control things so that I'm safe and so that things don't fall apart, and just so many ways to control. It goes in my head. I don't even have to say stuff. There's so much that goes on in my head. And then moving into that place of feeling that fear, and then having to reprogram my brain to know that I am safe. I am in control of me. That's all I need to be in control of. I don't need to be in control of him or the kids or the world or the government or the presidency or, any of those things. But it's an odd thing when you suffered trauma, like I've suffered, and many of you have, that you just really need things to be controlled so that you don't feel out of sorts and you don't feel like you're losing your mind. Um, so that's I'm anxious to read the next chapter, which is about joy.
Yeah, we're looking for the joy train.
Yeah.
enough of the, well, so one of the things I do want that popped into my head that I want to point out, like I said, one of the things that Amelia and I are both working on is our self-care. And one of the things that she shared with me that it really resonated with me extremely this morning, but it was kind of funny because last night we were having a casual conversation with a fella, and his statement was,
There's only fear
two
and love.
emotions, yes, fear and love. And there's a fella that Miss Amelia found
Through Katerina.
Oh, okay. Well, I did not know that, but Brad Yates, and he does the tapping.
EFT.
EFT, whatever you want to call it.
Emotional freedom technique.
And it's just really fascinating. And I would highly recommend, if you're looking for something to help with your self-care, because that's one of the things I'm doing is individuating. So she's over there and I'm over here.
Yes, we're separate.
Which is not easy. I'm not going to lie. I told her when I came home, it's not easy to come home knowing that I can't have that closeness that I desire, but that's just something that we're working towards. Those of you that wonder if I'm on board, yes, as a male, I'm on board. Because I can see people saying, oh, well, she's controlling all that as well.
I would like to hug more. I like hugging.
Yeah, hugging's good. By the way, hugging. I'm a really good hugger.
Yes, he is.
It helps that I'm kind of like a big bear. So
he needs an equal big bear in order to give him a really big hug. It's
all good.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just wanted to share that. Brad Yates, look him up on I guess
YouTube.
YouTube. Yep.
He's very easy. The first time I was introduced to EFT, I was like, "What? I don't understand." And then I left it from the original time I was introduced to it, and then have come back to it through Katerina. And now that I really understand what it is, it's a reprogramming when you're doing the tapping and you're saying the words. And I got caught up in the whole scripting of having to script and understand what I was doing, and to be able to just pull him up on YouTube.
Yeah,
I've been doing
it's real easy.
Yeah, you just follow along with him, and it's less than 6 minutes, the one that I do. Clearing away what does not feel like love. And I've been doing it since last September, just about every single day. And it is changing something in my brain about how I think about things. So,
yay.
Yeah, it's kind of like EMDR and those other things that change up your neurotransmitters in your brain. So, it's a good thing.
Yes, it's a good thing. So, communicate with your partner.
Yes.
Let them be them, you be you. Come together as a couple. Raise your children how you would want to have been raised. There's a thought.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Mm-hmm. All righty.
I feel complete.
Always go into the English lady.
Yeah.
Or whatever that accent is.
Bloody British.
But bloody. Anyway, have a good evening. This is I don't know, our 6th or 7th. Yeah, this is Thursday, and he goes out of town again next week, so we'll figure out when we do the next one. All right, like, subscribe, share, ask questions.
Check
Yeah.
out the awesome sunset if you're. Did you see it?
Oh
Look.
no.
Yeah.
Very pretty.
Have to enjoy Mother Nature.
Yes, and the moment, the present moment. All right. Have a good evening. We'll see you next time.
Bye.